Okay, good evening, members of the public, council members and staff to this Monday, January 18th Committee of Adjustment meeting. Can I get someone to call the meeting to order? Moved by Stephanie Jaworski, or Councillor Jaworski, and seconded by Councillor McDonnell. All those in favor of the meeting being opened? Carried. Sorry, guys. Thanks. Approval of the agenda. Moved by Councillor McDonnell. Second by Mayor Prevost. All those in favor? Motion is carried. Approval of the minutes from the December 21st meeting. Moved by Councillor Lang, second by Councillor McDonnell. All those in favor of the approval of the minutes? Motion is carried. Thank you. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 5B0121, Pembroke. Mrs. Haley.
You're on mute, Joanne.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. So welcome everyone to our Committee of Adjustment meeting. For members of the public that are participating by Zoom or by phone, you will be permitted to speak to the application following my presentation. Prior to speaking, please state your name and address for the record. When you'd like to make a comment, you can use the raise hand function and the chair will call on you. Or if you have registered to participate by phone, you'll be asked if you would like to comment on the application after the applicable presentation. So I just need to read required wording under the Ontario Planning Act. This is a hearing under Section 44 of the Ontario Planning Act. Any person may attend this hearing and or make written or verbal representation either in support of or in opposition to the proposed minor variance. If a person or public body does not make oral or written submissions at this hearing before the minor variance is decided upon, the person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision of the minor variance to the Local Planning Appeal Tribunal, also known as LPAT. If a person or public body does not make oral submissions at a hearing or make written submissions to the Committee of Adjustment or the Township of South Glengarry before the minor variance is decided upon, the person or public body may not be added as a party to the hearing of an appeal before the LPAT unless, in the opinion of the tribunal, there are reasonable grounds to do so. So we only have one application for our meeting this evening. This application is a vacant lot, so it does not have a civic number, but it is legally described as part of Lot 31, Concession 9, in the geographic township of Charlottenburg, now in the township of South Glengarry. It's located at the southwest corner of Squire Road and Kenyon Concession Road, so at the very north end of our municipality. This is a map, and as you can see at the top of the screen where it says Kenyon Concession 1, and then it's framed by Squire Road on the east side of the property. Across the road would be the township of North Glengarry. So the purpose of the minor variance application is the applicant proposes to construct a single detached dwelling. And in the rural zone, which is section 10.2 of the zoning bylaw, it requires a 15-meter exterior side yard setback, which is typical for a corner lot. You typically have a larger side yard setback. So in this case, the applicant's looking to reduce the exterior side yard setback from 15 meters to 7 meters, just to ensure that there's adequate width for the parcel property to construct the dwelling as well as install the required septic system. So the property is designated rural district in the county official plan, and this application conforms to the general intent. It's zoned rural and also conforms to the general intent of the zoning bylaw. We have reviewed the application internally. We circulated it to applicable municipal staff. Planning and building have no concerns. The applicants also had discussions with our roads department in terms of entrance and filling in the ditch. And so they have no concerns with the location of the proposed development. And I've received no public comments to date, not even a general inquiry. So I believe the applicant's agent is participating in the meeting this evening. And if there's any questions, please let me know.
Okay, thank you very much for that presentation, Ms. Haley. Looking at the design of the house, it looks like it's going to be quite the beautiful property. Are there any questions of the committee members? Yeah, Councillor Jaworski, then Councillor Lang.
Thank you, through you, Chair. Ms. Haley, I was hoping you could just say again, the reason for the reduced side yard setback is to have enough space, you said, for the septic system?
Well, for the development of the property in general, so I indicated for the proposed dwelling as well as installation for a septic system. If you look at the configuration of the property, it's a very narrow property. So when you look at it, it meets the requirements of our bylaw, but it's only 150 feet in width. And
Okay.
so when you take 15 meters, which is 50 feet right away, and then you also have your interior side yards of 5 meters, it really depends on how the person wants to configure the property. So that's really the reason for the request.
Okay, so I didn't see where the house was laid out vis-a-vis the property, but so I understand it's
Okay.
a narrow property. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Councillor Lang.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. Yes, I'd gone to look at the property and it is a narrow property, long and narrow, and just looking at where the survey stakes were for the corner post on the north end, it was obvious that it's quite narrow. And I assumed that was, so thank you. That was kind of my question, but I assumed it was because the lot was narrow that they needed to cut the distance down a little bit to be able to fit the house in. So I'm fine with it. Thanks.
Councillor McDonnell.
I was just gonna say I drove past it as well. I was up there today, and I know the area well up there as I used to live up there. But yeah, I don't see any issue with it. And if someone's willing to develop on Kenyon 1 or Squire Road, power to them, especially there. It's a nice spot, nice view.
Okay, that being said, does the I guess we're ready to can I get a mover to approve as presented? Moved by Councillor McDonnell, second by Councillor Lang. All those in favor of the application? Motion is carried. Thank you very much. I've got 3 screens going here. Number 6, next meeting, February 1st. A time will be determined.
So actually, Mr. Chair, I had a meeting this afternoon with a potential applicant, and it looks like they're able to proceed with their development without requiring a minor variance. So I don't believe we will be having a meeting, and we just had that meeting at 1:30 this afternoon. So my agenda was done before then. Sorry about that.
Nope, that's fine. You'll give us proper notice if we need to, correct?
Yes, and if I get an application, I actually have to receive it by the end of the day tomorrow for the timeline. So it's really unlikely we'll have one on the 1st, but you never know.
Okay, thank you very much. So that being said, motion to adjourn. Moved by Mayor Prevost, second by Councillor Lang. Meeting is adjourned at 6:09 p.m. See you guys at 6:30. Right?